Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. Defence Minister on a two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir. He will review security situation, including anti-terror operations at the border. Centre considering issuing notification to clarify distribution of power between posts of Delhi's Lieutenant Governor and Chief Minister to resolve tussle. Gujjar agitation intensifies for quota in government jobs in Rajasthan. Community leaders refuse a climb down despite state government's willingness to talk. Greece debt crisis at EU summit centre stage. German Chancellor and French President hold talks with Greek Prime Minister. And Pakistan to stage a comeback as hosts for international cricket. First match in T20 series against Zimbabwe to be played in Lahore today. Our top focus on the bulletin this morning: as the Narendra Modi government completes 1 year in power, it has big plans to promote its achievements and successes. The focus of the promotional campaigns will be schemes related to the poor. With this, the government hopes to dispel the notion that it is anti-farmer and anti-poor. Top BJP leaders will also be a big part of the campaign. Here's more.
With an aim to promote its pro-poor and pro-farmer image, the Narendra Modi-led government will focus on social sector schemes as it sets out to celebrate the completion of 1 year in power. In the promotional campaign, the Jan Dhan Yojana, the Insurance Protection Scheme, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme and the Atal Pension Yojana will be hugely promoted. The party plans to fight allegations of being anti-poor and anti-farmer through this.
सामाजिक सुरक्षा की योजनाओं की मैं आपसे बात करता हूं। 92% लोग अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड सेक्टर में काम करते हैं। मोदी सरकार ने उनके लिए अटल पेंशन योजना चलाई है। 1000 रुपया साल का जमा कराओ, 60 साल के बाद 1000 रुपया।
The party claims that since Modi came to power, not only has the country's economy improved, but the world is now looking differently at India. The party will also need to fight perception that it is friendlier towards the corporate than the common man.
ये कुछ राजनीतिक दल भ्रमित कर रहे हैं, इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि उनको पता है जो हमने सामाजिक सुरक्षा योजना लाए हैं, वो आज तक कोई नहीं लाया। इसलिए लोगों का ध्यान भटकाना चाहते हैं। हिंदुस्तान के लोग बहुत समझदार हैं।
The Modi government turns 1 on May 26th. Besides the advertising blitzkrieg, there will be press conferences in several cities, the first of which will be addressed by Arun Jaitley in Delhi on Friday. Public rallies have also been planned, with the Prime Minister himself planning to address several. Shyam Sundar's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Joining me for a chat this morning on this very subject is senior journalist Yatish Rajawat. Yatish, thank you for joining me on the program this morning. You know, as far as the Modi government's performance thus far is concerned, how would you rate it?
You know, it is very difficult to rate a government on a 1 year tenure, but I mean, what do you rate it on? If you rate it on economy, well, the economy is done well in spite or because of the government, and the stock markets have outperformed this year versus any other country. So on the inflation side, the government has been blessed with the low oil prices, which has brought down at least the oil bill also. So if you were to rate it in terms of what the government has been doing with the systems, I think the government has done a fair job.
You know, as far as some of the other achievements are concerned, what do you believe in the last 1 year have been the major achievements of the Modi Sarkar?
So, I mean, if you look at the major achievements of this government, one, from the fiscal and the economic point of view, is they've been able to implement the 14 Finance Commission's report. One second, they have managed to introduce the GST bill in the parliament. Third, this government has launched a fairly aggressive banking program to get the unfinanced into the banking system, what they call as the Jan Dhan program. On the social side, I would say that the pension schemes and other have started now. They've made these big bag announcement, but it still has to see traction in the real world.
You know, reports in the media and the general consensus is that this government is anti-farmer and anti-poor. So now this is one tag that the government would like to shed, isn't it?
It is. I mean, this is a perception that can really impact any government going forward, particularly when it comes to getting votes. And no government would like to carry this tag. You see, at the end of the day, the population is what votes the government into power, and having a tag which is anti-poor, anti-farmer is really not happening.
And is there any failure that you can pinpoint?
Will they be able to get rid of this?
Is there any failure of this government that you can pinpoint and say that the government, could have done better maybe on this aspect, or this is something that the government would like to forget?
There are a lot of things there, that is a bigger list than what they have done. This promise of black money that they had made, this has been the biggest so-called perception failure and almost a strategic and tactical failure. By going into, even during the government time, they kept saying that they'll bring this money back, and it's impossible to bring this back, as we have discovered over the last 1 year. Second is, the government is one of the biggest, now we see as a failure is that this government is still in an election and campaigning mode, so to say. It has not got down to the act of business or act of execution. The ministers are still, making these grandiose statements of 1 lakh kilometers of roads, X amount of things coming in, Y amount of things they'll bring. I think they should stop doing this because what they're doing is they're again raising expectations which they know for sure that they cannot meet.
All right, Yatish, we'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning and putting things into perspective for us on this very subject. Moving on now, the centre is considering issuing a notification to clarify distribution of power between the posts of Delhi's Lieutenant Governor and Chief Minister. The Home Ministry is likely to clarify that in matters like public order, including police and land, the Lieutenant Governor is the competent authority to issue orders. As per legal opinion, Lieutenant Governor is not bound to consult Council of Ministers but may consult if he or she so desires. Reports say that at least 2 rounds of consultation took place between the Prime Minister and the Home Minister yesterday evening on the issue. It was not immediately known when the notification will be issued. Senior bureaucrat Shakuntala Gamlin's appointment as acting Chief Secretary for Delhi last week had triggered a full-blown war between the ruling Aam Aadmi Party and Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung, with Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal alleging that the Lieutenant Governor was trying to take over the administration. Kejriwal yesterday sought the intervention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the matter, even as he accused the centre of using Jung to run the state. Here's a look now at what's lined up for the day today in our segment, The Day Ahead. The 2-day National Executive Meeting of the Communist Party of India gets underway in Delhi today. The meet is to finalize the party's strategy on how to intensify the agitation against the government's proposed land bill. The party has termed the bill anti-farmer and anti-national. The leaders, however, maintain that their ideologies are different from that of the Congress, alleging that the anti-people economic policies that the Narendra Modi government is pursuing today were first rolled out by the Congress and that the Modi government is just taking it forward. Congress leader and industrialist Naveen Jindal, former Minister of State for Coal Dasari Narayan Rao, former Jharkhand Chief Minister Madhu Koda and 12 others are likely to appear as accused before a special court today in connection with the coal block allocation scam. The court has asked them to appear after taking cognizance of the CBI charge sheet filed against them. In the charge sheet, the CBI has alleged that Jindal had promised the Congress support to the then unstable Madhu Koda government in Jharkhand in return for the allocation of Amarkonda coal block to his group firms. The first cabinet expansion of the 18-month-old Raman Singh government in Chhattisgarh will take place today. The oath-taking ceremony will be held at the Raj Bhavan at 11 a.m. At least 3 new ministers are expected to be inducted in the cabinet. Several MLAs are also likely to be named as parliamentary secretaries. The decision for cabinet expansion is reported to have been taken at a meeting between Raman Singh and BJP President Amit Shah on May 17. It's time for a short break now, but coming up in a short while from now, Jayalalitha re-elected as leader of the AIADMK legislature party, paving way for her to return as Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. That and much more coming up. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
ओलंपिक नाम उस जगह का है जहां जाकर भारतीय टीम हारती है। जाना हमारा काम है, हराना उनका काम। जब भी आगे बढ़ने का सवाल आया, हमने लखनवी अंदाज में झुककर कहा, पहले आओ।
सबसे बड़ी समस्या तो एक बार जहां से चुनाव जीत गए, वहां से फिर जीतना है।
उनकी नजर उनका शहर में शरद जोशी का रचना संसार,
दुनिया का हाल, राजनीति की चाल, बिजनेस की रफ्तार, खेल का धमाल, दिन की शुरुआत खबरों के साथ। देखिए हर रोज सुबह 9 बजे सिर्फ राज्यसभा टीवी पर।
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Defence Minister Manoj Parrikar will begin his 2-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir today to review the security situation. Manoj Parrikar will review overall security situation, cross-border infiltration and measures on a security grid for LOC and counter-terrorist operations, besides security for the Amarnath Yatra. He will be accompanied by Army Chief General Dalbir Singh Suhag and General Officer Commanding-in-Chief of Northern Command Lieutenant General Huda. During the visit, which will cover all 3 regions of the state, he will first arrive in Leh, where he will be briefed about the situation along the line of control on Pakistani side and line of actual control along the Chinese side. Parrikar will then fly to Srinagar, where he will hold meetings with Governor N.N. Vora and Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed. On Saturday, he will fly to Jammu and visit some forward posts in Poonch sector. This will be Parrikar's second visit to the state since assuming charge of the ministry in November last year. Here's a look now at what else is making news across the country and nationwide. AIADMK Chief Jayalalitha has been re-elected as legislature party leader of her party. This comes a day before her swearing-in that is scheduled to take place on Saturday. Jaya met her party MLAs at the AIADMK headquarters early today, where she was re-elected. This was her first public appearance after being acquitted by the Karnataka High Court in the disproportionate assets case. After almost 2 months, another swine flu death has been reported from the North 24 Parganas district of West Bengal. A 32-year-old woman died at a private medical health facility on Wednesday. The reports have yet to confirm the death due to the H1N1 virus. However, primary reports do indicate that the woman tested positive with the virus. The disease has claimed 25 lives in the state from January till March. Ahead of the court hearing on May 26 challenging the suspension of the foreign funding license, NGO Greenpeace India has said that they hope for a favourable High Court verdict. Addressing the press on Thursday, Executive Director of Greenpeace India said that it did not expect an elected government to treat legitimate NGOs in a humiliating manner. In April, the government had suspended the foreign funding license of Greenpeace India for 6 months and froze 7 domestic bank accounts, accusing the environmental watchdog of misusing funds. The Supreme Court on Thursday ordered a status quo regarding the relocation of tiger T24 from Ranthambore National Park to a zoo. The tiger, which had reportedly mauled a security guard to death earlier this month, is being sought to be shifted from the wild into captivity owing to alleged pressure from the tourism lobby thriving around the national park. The bench noted on Thursday that a petition against the relocation of T24, popularly known as Ustad, is listed before Rajasthan High Court on May 28. It said there shall be a status quo till the High Court takes a call on the plea. Moving on now, reviving their demand for 5% reservation in jobs, Gujjars in Rajasthan have launched an agitation blocking railway tracks even as the state government expressed readiness to have talks with them. On Thursday, demonstrators sat on a dharna on railway tracks blocking the Delhi-Mumbai tracks near Pilukapura in Bharatpur. 6 trains were affected on the route and alternate arrangements were made. The community, which had undertaken a major agitation over the issue in 2008, relaunched it under the leadership of Gujjar leader Kirori Singh Bansla. Police has been deployed in strength in the area to maintain law and order. Rajasthan Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria said that the matter was sub judice and the community members should understand this. Gujjars had earlier launched several agitations to press for their demands of reservations since 2008. After agitations and legal battle, they got 1% reservation within 50% limit and the issue of remaining 4% was pending. Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav has called for a meeting of the Janta Parivar today amid an RJD-JDU squabble to discuss the upcoming Bihar Assembly polls. The meeting was called upon after Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar questioned the delay in the merger of parties as one. The meet holds importance as it is expected to clear the seat-sharing squabble between leaders from JDU and RJD. However, taking a step forward, RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav tried to poach former Bihar Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi to be a part of the broader unity against the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's time for another break right now, but coming up on the other side, 6-year drought ends for Pakistan as the country is all set to host Zimbabwe in the first home series since 2009. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
It's one of the most talked about piece of ordnance in recent times. With farmers on one side and the industry on the other. The government is caught in the middle.
How has the ordnance actually managed to get the 80% consent clause?
Because the word uses infrastructure, it means that for all projects there will be no consent.
Watch the Land Ordinance 2015 this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on Law of the Land, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, European Union's 4th Eastern Partnership Summit concluded its first day of meetings in Riga. Important talks were held between the leaders to discuss the Greece debt crisis on the first day. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President François Hollande held talks with Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras late on Thursday, hoping to speed the resolution of Athens' debt crisis on the sidelines of the EU summit in Riga. The meeting lasted more than 2 hours and ended after midnight. The leaders, however, did not speak with the media. A German spokesman said that Merkel and Hollande held friendly and constructive talks that focused on Athens completing its current bailout. Since its election in January this year, Greece's left-wing government has held 4 months of talks with the European Union and International Monetary Fund seeking a financial bailout, but talks have stumbled over pension, labour reform, fiscal targets and increases in value-added tax. Meanwhile, Greece hopes to reach a deal with the European Union and International Monetary Fund lenders by early June as the cash-strapped country quickly runs out of money.
Τα μνημόνια έως τώρα, από το 10 μέχρι σήμερα, ήταν στην νοοτροπία του Διεθνούς Νομισματικού Ταμείου, στη γλώσσα του Διεθνούς Νομισματικού Ταμείου. Γι' αυτό υπήρχε και η εμπλοκή του Διεθνούς Νομισματικού Ταμείου. Ήταν ένα πρόγραμμα, θέλετε, μια σειρά προγραμμάτων που στόχο είχαν τη χρηματοδότηση ενός κράτους που κατέρεε.
Well, for decades, ethnic minorities from Bangladesh and Myanmar have been fleeing from persecution and poverty at home or have been abducted by human traffickers. This time around, the tables turned when these boat people were pushed out to sea by Thailand, Malaysia and Indonesia. Here's a report.
Nearly 3,000 migrants have been rescued off Malaysia, Indonesia and Thailand over the past 10 days. Indonesia and Malaysia have agreed upon helping the rescued migrants with assistance from the United States after facing global criticism for turning away the boat people. More than 1,000 Rohingya Muslims have resettled in the United States since October.
In terms of resettling, I think the Malaysians and the Indonesians have requested some help resettling people. We're taking a careful look at the proposal. We're prepared to take a leading role in any UNHCR organized multi-country effort to resettle the most vulnerable refugees.
Latest boatload of Rohingya and Bangladeshi migrants reached temporary shelter homes in Indonesia after being abandoned by the traffickers, many of them hungry and sick.
400 people. Yeah.
What happened in the boat?
No well.
Well,
Yeah.
and then?
And then rivers coming. And some things, helicopters coming, some things rise. Maybe talent, maybe coming, the help. Okay.
Where are you from and
Myanmar, I come from Myanmar.
where are you from and where you want to go?
Coming, Malaysia.
Officials in Myanmar are expected to attend a regional conference next week in Bangkok to address the ongoing migrant crisis. On the other hand, Myanmar's 1.1 million Rohingya Muslims are stateless and live in apartheid-like conditions. Many internally displaced people are still fighting their way out of the camp provided by the government. Four Malaysian Navy ships began searching the Andaman Sea for stranded boats on Thursday in the first official rescue operation. There are also several Indonesian warships on patrol in the area. More than 3,000 migrants, mostly Rohingya Muslims from Myanmar and Bangladesh, have landed so far this month in Malaysia and Indonesia. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, a coup brought about stability to Thailand and stopped violent clashes between opposing political parties. But a year on, political watchers say that the junta still retains a tight grip over the country and is not showing signs of letting go. The Thai military, led by General Prayut Chan-o-cha, took power from the government on the 22nd of May 2014 after 6 months of street protests that had left the country polarized and without an end in sight. The street demonstrations have stopped and the junta has restored some calm and stability, but its critics say that it is restricting freedom of expression and struggling to shore up the sluggish economy. The previous election on February 2nd, 2014 was called by the then Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. Her administration was toppled in the 2014 coup. Her brother and former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra was also the victim of another coup in 2006. The junta has moved to draft a new constitution seen as aiming to prevent ousted Thaksin and his allies from returning to power.
it is likely that the army will want to have control after the election. It is unlikely that the army will just simply have a free and fair election and pass on power to the elected politicians, because it would negate the coup. This is not a coup to hand back power in a free and fair election.
กรอบเวลารถแมพที่ท่านบอกว่าปีเศษๆมันไม่มีทางทำเรื่องปฏิรูปสำเร็จมันไม่มีทางแก้ปัญหาปากท้องของประชาชนได้สมบูรณ์ยั่งยืนมันไม่มีทางจะจัดระบบโครงสร้างทางสังคมใดๆให้เสร็จสิ้นภายใต้กรอบเวลานี้
Let's bring you up to date with the other international news in our segment World Wrap. An undated militant video was posted online on Thursday by Islamic State showing fighters advancing through an abandoned pumping station east of Palmyra city. The released video also showed their fighters celebrating inside the town's notorious prison and burning a poster of President Bashar al-Assad. Islamic State fighters claim that they have taken full control of Palmyra in central Syria. China and Russia concluded joint naval drills in the Mediterranean Sea on Thursday. This was the first time the two countries carried out military exercises together. 9 Russian and Chinese Navy vessels gathered in the Mediterranean Sea for joint military drills. People in the Republic of Ireland will vote on a same-sex marriage referendum today. If it passes, Ireland will become the first country in the world to legalize gay marriage by a national vote. For years, Ireland was seen as Europe's socially conservative nation. Homosexuality was only decriminalized in 1993 and abortion is still illegal in the country. Cleanup teams labored in Santa Barbara coastline on Thursday for a third day to remove patches of crude petroleum that stained a California beach. More than 300 cleanup workers toiled around the clock in scooping up globs of oil from the sand and raking tar balls. Meanwhile, US Coast Guard officials have said that it may take months to restore the situation. A Baltimore grand jury has charged all 6 police officers accused in the death of Freddie Gray. This comes after prosecutor Marilyn Mosby filed charges against the 6 officers earlier this month. 25-year-old Gray died on April 19th of injuries suffered while being in police custody. The officers are scheduled to appear in court on the 2nd of July. Moving on to some sports news now. Pakistan and Zimbabwe will play their first T20 of the 2-match series starting today at the Gaddafi Stadium, reviving international cricket in the country 6 years after the attack on the Sri Lankan team. Pakistan's coach Waqar Younis is hopeful of a better performance in the home series against Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean coach Dave Watmore said that he is aware of the weaknesses in Pakistan's cricket team and is going to exploit them. It is after a hiatus of 6 years that international cricket has found revival in form of the upcoming series. There's a roundup of the other sports news in our sports beat. Ace shuttler Saina Nehwal regained the #1 spot in the latest singles rankings released by Badminton World Federation on Thursday. The Olympic bronze medalist overthrew Li Zuri of China, who is now at the 2nd spot. Nehwal secured the #1 position for the first time last month, but she slipped from the desirable position subsequently. Meanwhile, 2-time World Championship bronze medalist PV Sindhu dropped a place to number 12. Davis Cupper Vishnuvardhan knocked out 4th seed Shashi Kumar Mukund 6-4, 6-4 to enter the semi-finals of the Mysore Minerals Limited Men's ITF Open Singles event on Thursday. The 8th-seeded Vishnu will take on top seed Antoine Escoffier of France, who posted a 7-5, 6-4 victory over Chinese Taipei's Zhu Chenjung in the quarterfinals. Former Portugal forward Luis Figo pulled out of the FIFA presidential election race on Thursday. Figo pulled out on the same day as Van Praag to leave Prince Ali bin Al Hussein of Jordan as Sepp Blatter's only rival. Blatter is the favourite to win a 5th term as president. The English Football Association also intends to support Prince Ali, while the Scottish FA had previously said that they would back Van Praag. That's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a nice day.